for sports. 100.7 The Bay Sports Director, Jerry Coleman, joining us on the program. And, Jerry, we got some dubs to talk about.
Yeah, I was listening to the traffic reports this morning, Huber. I did not hear anything about the planned parade that may be going on downtown this morning for this 3-game win streak, the first the Orioles have had this season. There's no word on that yet, huh?
Well, I'll keep you posted if I get any of the logistical information about the celebratory parade.
It could affect everyone's commute.
That's right. Now, listen, I am, consider me a little bit of a hippie or whatever you want. I'm a big proponent. I'm a big studier of vibe, like vibe check in a room, the way you vibe with somebody. I know it's subjective, but to me it's important. And the vibe around this team since the All-Star break last year, they just stopped looking like they were having fun. The hydration station seemed more like a get-through-it situation than something they were really having fun doing. And I will say, in the last week or two, it does seem like they're having more fun.
And you're not the only one to notice that. It has appeared that way for the first part of the season. It certainly has appeared that way for Charlie Morton, who lost his first 6 starts and finally got a W yesterday. But you're right. I mean, the body language, the facial expressions really did tell a lot to a lot of this losing that's been going on. And, the common denominator right now in these 3 victories has been the pitching.
Yeah.
Trevor Rogers, finally a good start as an Oriole. Dean Kramer pitched well, and Charlie Morton, as I just mentioned, they've been the difference.
Yeah, I'm not trying to insinuate by any stretch of the imagination that Brandon Hyde was sucking the fun out of the locker room, because all that fun they had, all that goofy mentality, all was during the Brandon Hyde era. Pitchers got to pitch well and hitters got to hit well to win games. That's really what it takes. Now, does some sort of an ease of tension around the clubhouse in the locker room make that easier to do? I can't speak on that because I'm not in there, but it does seem to be the more fun they have, the better they perform.
Yeah, they're not saying that because they all seem to support Brandon Hyde, but they needed to hear a different voice. We've talked about that. They needed some sort of spark. Maybe Tony Mansolino and the change did spark them a little bit, but you always glance up at the schedule around Memorial Day, and you look up this morning, they're still in last place.
Yeah.
They're 14 games out of first at 19-34, but if the pitching continues to pitch the way they have, then they might have a chance to get to 500. I don't think anyone is expecting a run to make the playoffs at this juncture, but at least Ryan O'Hearn is, turning it up. I mean, he's 15 for his last 25. He and Jackson Holliday look like they're destined for the All-Star game.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys getting really, really hot right now. And I said this a couple of weeks ago when we spoke. I don't know why we're not hiring Matt Holliday as some sort of a hitting coach, because he adjusts his kid's swing and turned him into, like you said, a potential All-Star.
He's been the difference, not the hitting coach with the Orioles. That was a big question around Birdland, was maybe they should have fired one of the coaches, a hitting coach or a pitching coach, instead of the manager, but it was the manager that took the fall. And, yeah, I mean, we're just waiting to hear about Adley Rutschman. He's been out after being hit on his mask by a foul ball on Sunday. Could be in concussion protocol, but we'll see if he goes on the 7-day concussion list. But, he's the guy that's been struggling all season long, and I don't know, Matt Holliday, Jackson Holliday, or any type of Holiday can help him out.
We're coming off a holiday, and I'm ready for another one. The Ravens are, expected to be great again this season, and you guys have an inside track with EDC coming up.
That's right. Mr. Eric DeCosta, the Ravens GM, is going to be on the Be More Baseball podcast. That's right. He's going to be on a baseball podcast this week, because we're not waiting until we start our football podcast, but check us out at Be More Ball Pod on YouTube and the Be More Ball Pod all over social media. Maverick Hanley, Orioles catchers, on this week, but Eric DeCosta coming up, an exclusive with him later this week.
Mr. Jerry Coleman at Sports. Thanks, sir.
See ya, and talk to you soon.
Sports with Coleman on 100.7 The Bay. Brought to you by HS Tech Group, Maryland's leading security and technology company. Go to hstechgroup.com.